Imagine you're walking through a forest 50,000 years ago. The ground beneath your feet is uneven. You step on a loose rock, your foot slips. Then you hear a sound, a crack. A sharp burst of pain shoots through your leg. You try to stand. You can't. And suddenly, a terrifying thought appears. Your leg is broken today. This would be a serious problem. You would call for help. Go to a hospital, get an X-ray, maybe wear a cast for a few weeks. But none of those things exist. No hospitals, no doctors, no painkillers, no ambulances, no casts, no crutches, just you, a broken bone, and a world that doesn't stop being dangerous simply because you're injured. So what happened next? Did ancient humans simply die whenever they broke a bone? Or is the real answer much more surprising? At first glance, the answer seems obvious. A broken bone sounds like a disaster, especially in a world where survival depends on moving. Think about it. Ancient humans didn't order food. They didn't drive cars. They didn't stay inside comfortable homes. Food had to be found. Water had to be carried. Danger had to be avoided. Every day required movement. And movement becomes difficult when one of your bones suddenly decides it no longer wants to be a bone. But here a strange question appears. If broken bones were always fatal, why do archaeologists keep finding skeletons with healed fractures? Not fresh fractures. Not injuries that happened shortly before death. Healed ones. Bones that clearly broke and then somehow recovered. Which means something remarkable happened. The person survived, sometimes for years afterward. And this is where the mystery begins. Because surviving a broken bone may have been one of the hardest challenges an ancient human could face. Let's imagine what happened immediately after the injury. The first problem was pain. A broken leg, arm, or rib could make even simple tasks difficult. The second problem was mobility. An injured hunter cannot run after animals. An injured gatherer cannot travel long distances. An injured person cannot easily escape predators. And this creates a huge problem, food. Because injuries don't pause hunger. You still need calories, you still need water, you still need protection. But obtaining those things becomes much harder. And this is where everything changes. Because humans had something many animals did not, each other. A wolf with a badly broken leg may struggle to survive. A lone human would face similar difficulties. But humans rarely lived completely alone. They lived in groups, small groups, families, bands, communities. And suddenly, a broken bone becomes less about one person and more about everyone around them. Someone could help carry water. Someone could share food. Someone could watch for danger. Someone could help the injured person move. At first, this may not sound revolutionary, but in the ancient world, it was. Because helping an injured individual requires sacrifice. Food given to one person cannot be eaten by another. Time spent caring for someone cannot be spent hunting. Yet evidence suggests ancient humans did exactly that. And archaeologists have found examples that are difficult to explain any other way. One famous example comes from ancient human remains showing severe injuries that healed long before death. Some individuals suffered damage that would have made independent survival extremely difficult. Yet they lived. Not for days, not for weeks, sometimes for years. Which raises an uncomfortable question. How? The simplest answer is also the most surprising. Other people helped them. Someone brought food. Someone shared resources. Someone protected them. Someone waited for them to recover. And suddenly, a broken bone becomes evidence of something much bigger than medicine. It becomes evidence of compassion. But things become even more interesting. Not every broken bone was equally dangerous. Some fractures were far worse than others. A broken finger would be painful, a broken rib could make breathing difficult, a broken arm could prevent tool use. But a broken leg was often especially serious because movement was everything. If you cannot move, survival becomes much harder. And yet archaeologists repeatedly find healed leg fractures, again and again, which suggests ancient humans were surprisingly resilient. But how did the bone actually heal? Obviously, nobody was performing modern orthopedic surgery, yet ancient people were excellent observers. Long before medical textbooks existed, humans understood that injured limbs needed rest. Evidence from different ancient cultures suggests that splints were sometimes used, simple supports made from wood, sticks, plant fibers, or other available materials. Nothing fancy, but sometimes simple is enough. The body already knows how to repair bone. The challenge is surviving long enough for that process to finish, and this process takes time. Weeks, sometimes months. Imagine waiting months for your leg to heal, while living in a world filled with harsh weather, dangerous animals, and constant physical demands. Suddenly, the real miracle is not that bones healed. The real miracle is that people survived while they healed. But there is another fascinating detail. Researchers often notice that humans appear to have cared for injured individuals far more than many people expect. In fact, some scientists believe this willingness to help may have played an important role in human success, because cooperation creates an advantage. A group that protects injured members preserves knowledge, experience, skills, relationships. A wounded hunter may eventually recover and help the group again. A recovering elder may still share knowledge. Helping someone survive can benefit everyone. And perhaps ancient humans understood this better than we imagine. Now let's step back and look at the original question. What happened when an ancient human broke a bone? The answer is surprisingly complex. Sometimes the injury was fatal. Sometimes infection, starvation, or predators made recovery impossible. But many times something else happened. The person endured, the group adapted, the bone healed, life continued. And that may be one of the most important clues about who our ancestors really were. Because when archaeologists discover a healed fracture, they are not just finding a broken bone. They are finding evidence of patience, cooperation, care, and perhaps even kindness. A healed fracture is proof that somebody mattered enough to be helped, which leads to a remarkable conclusion. Maybe the most impressive thing about ancient humans wasn't their hunting skill, or their tools, or their ability to survive harsh environments. Maybe it was something much simpler. When someone fell, others helped them stand again, and thousands of years later, their bones still tell that story. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating questions about human history, evolution, and survival.